And welcome back to White Claw Wednesday, episode number 72.
72 coming at ya. Where is my claw?
It's right behind you. All
There
right,
we
let's
go.
crack these open here. Yeah, we got the tower back. Now we're at my place instead of Ryan's.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's really refreshing.
Nothing like a lemon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we are at Frank's place right now. We're really a mobile podcast at this point.
Yeah, we are. We go where we need to.
Dude, I'm laughing at this setup we got going on.
Yeah,
right now.
I kind of like it because I really feel like this mic stand I got going, I really kind of feel like it's a, you know, the rock stars have their mics on a stand that they can take off and
I
stuff.
feel like I'm on a stage and I'm holding on to it.
Yeah, and they can do moves with the mic stand. They kind of hold it in the middle, right? You know, they steady it. That's
Yep.
That's
All
what
right,
I'm
going to
feeling
shift
right now.
here
okay.
to face
Do
you a little bit.
Okay.
But this is cool.
Yeah.
So we got the stands literally right on our chairs, and they're
Mhm.
just sticking straight up. And they're not the highest quality stands.
Yeah.
And so if we let go, if you're watching on YouTube, check this out.
Yeah, Ryan's has a
just falls
mine's
right
actually
over.
more stable.
Yeah, yours is good. I wonder where mine's been.
But yeah, I think I kind of nailed my setup.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a little short episode today because we're all kicking it, and our
And-
friends are waiting on us. So
yeah, we're trying to party, you know.
we're trying to have a good time. No, this is gonna be a good time. And so yeah, let's get this going, Frank. Right off the bat, your worst nightmare came true.
Yeah. God. But I had my payoff for that happen last night when the Warriors lost. I was being roommates with Scott, Warriors fan. I was keeping this to myself. I wasn't telling him that I was rooting for the Warriors to lose against the Grizzlies because I was so mad at them for not being able to beat the Lakers.
Uh-huh.
And it happened. The Warriors lost, and now they're not in the playoffs. And I mean, I feel like, you know,
They lost
justice
both their
is
playing
served. They
games.
lost both they had two shots at it, and they couldn't come through.
Yep.
And you know what? They're the only team of the play-in tournament who lost, and they were the higher seed. So all the other matchups that happened during the play-in tournament,
Yeah.
the higher seed won the game except for that game. That was the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they lost two.
They lost two. Yeah, they lost two.
And they were
The first one was at
they
Staples.
were lower.
The
They
first
were
one was
lower
at
seeds,
Staples.
though.
Yeah, they were lower seed than the Lakers. They were the 8th, but should have been the 8th. And that's what I kind of like about the play-in now is
I love it. I love
because
it.
it was almost as if every team just ended up staying in the spot that they were already in.
So were the Grizzlies the 9th or 10th?
Grizzlies were the 9th, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why they were the one exception to the
to making the playoffs.
proving the play-in is
Yeah.
like changing things in terms of like allowing other teams
Yeah.
to make it in, which I think is fair when you get down to the bottom of the you know, sort of the middle, I should say, of the standings.
Uh-huh.
Things can tend to get, you know, one team can be just as good as the other. I mean, and I think that
Yeah.
really applies this year. You look at like my worst nightmare. Now the Suns are playing the Lakers, and the Lakers, the 7th seed, are the favorite.
Uh-huh.
And that is an example of just how wild of a year it's been in terms of injuries and players
Yeah.
being out and
Yeah.
teams being better than their records.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good format. I mean, like you said, you know, teams are good. Like there's the 7th seed and Lakers
Yeah.
are favorited over the Suns, who
Yeah.
are 2nd seed,
Exactly.
because people are back from injury, right?
Mhm. And because it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's man.
So what are your predictions?
I mean,
Now that we know who's
Now that
in.
we know,
I
well-
mean, I guess technically there's some games already.
there's some games that have
gone.
already happened.
So
and
this
then
is a
also,
Saturday.
This is going to come out in a few
Right.
days, so it's like other games will be decided.
So people will know how
Um,
stupid our guesses are.
Yeah, but I mean, as a Suns fan, I think we're going to the championship.
Okay.
I do. I really don't think. I think if we play to our maximum potential,
Yeah.
I think we can beat anybody. You know,
You
I really
guys
even
have a
the
good
Nets,
shot,
even the
for
Nets,
sure.
because even though we did get beat by the Nets in both our games against them in the regular season.
Yeah. But you guys
Both
won't play the
games
Nets
we were
until
competitive. And not only that, but the first game we played against the Nets, we had a 25-point lead at halftime, and we blew it in the second half
I didn't
because
know that.
James Harden just went off.
Wait, did you say that the Suns would win or they'd make it to the championship?
I think they can. I think they can win it all this year.
Is
I
that
do.
your prediction, or you think they can?
Yeah, I'm predicting it. I'm going to say it. You know, I'm going.
Frank
I mean,
is invested.
I'm invested.
People.
You know, I've been a fan for so long. Now that I've never felt this way about a playoff entry before. You know, like I didn't even feel this confident back in like 2010 when Nash and
Frank,
Amari
you've
were
never had
entering.
the opportunity to feel any way about a playoff entry.
Yes, I have. I was around
It was
for.
like you were 12 or something.
I
How
was
old were
12.
you?
I was 12 years old the last time the Suns were in the
Wow.
playoffs. I was.
That's incredible that I guessed that. Or maybe you told me that last.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is it's even hard to like remember that far back and remember exactly what I was thinking. You know I was a fan because I have all this. You know, I have gear from back then, like old gear.
You guys
and
can't
stuff.
see it, but there's literally a Phoenix basketball jersey and hat up there. That's not a conference championship hat.
Yeah, and it's also, if you know NBA designs and logos, you can tell that era of warm-ups.
That's the OG.
That was an older era. That was back when they had Adidas making everything. And now they have Nike making everything. So, you can see, like, but I can't remember what my thoughts were back when I was 12. I can't remember if I felt like, oh, man, Nash and Amari are enough to, take the Suns and win the championship. But this year I feel like it's enough just because.
Isn't Stoudemire on the team, too?
Yeah. Oh, that's Amari.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I just feel like Chris Paul is the X factor now in terms of
he really is.
He is the special ingredient that we got that changed everything. And if he really wants it, I think there's a chance that he is able to will us to it. I mean, and the other thing is, in a way, sure, it's tough that we have to face the Lakers in the first round, but there's goods and bads to everything. And the good to that is if we do end up winning that series, I think that's our most difficult opponent down in the Western Conference. I think the Nets are a little bit tougher than the Lakers, but I think Western Conference-wise, I think the road gets easier after we beat the Lakers.
You think the Nets are better than the Lakers?
I do.
I think so, too.
I do. Just because of how good Kyrie, Kevin, and James are all at scoring. Just getting points.
It's like you have a team that stacked. It's almost guaranteed that somebody's having a good game,
Exactly.
They're not even in a situation where all of them can have a good game too, No. There's just not enough points to go around.
Yeah, that's true.
What's their highest scoring game? Do you know?
I don't know, but I know they were one of the higher scoring teams in the league. Like when they first got James Harden, they were scoring the most points in the league, and they were also giving up the most points. They kind of fixed the whole defensive thing as the season went on. But no, they're definitely a higher scoring team because when all three of them play. Kevin, James, and Kyrie, they only played like 8 games all together throughout the season.
Yeah.
And pretty much each of those games, they would all be scoring like an amount that you would be used to seeing them score when they were on their own. Like Kevin Durant has 29, Kyrie has 31, James has 36 or whatever.
Right.
So it's just I really think they've figured out a way to all score equally and feel like they're all getting as much points as they usually do.
Would you feel good still a little bit if Phoenix makes it to the finals and then Brooklyn takes them out, but Steve Nash
wins the championship?
Yeah.
See, that is
it like some sort of consolation or no?
It is consolation, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I would still
You wouldn't take it as a win at
I wouldn't
all.
take it as a win, no. It would be like a not even, I can't even call it like a win-lose, It would still just be a loss.
It's like a participation trophy.
A loss is like it honestly just be like, oh, good for him.
Yeah.
But and the thing that even makes it
it's probably worse.
I actually think it's worse. The more I
now that we're
talk
thinking
about it,
because now you had that top talent who could transverse that into.
And then we lost to a team
position
that was coached by probably our best player in our history. And
I wonder. Oh, what do you think was going through his mind if he gets there? Or what do you think would go through his mind? It's got to be so tough.
He'd probably be like I can imagine Steve in the huddles. He's like, guys, it's the Suns. Come on, guys.
I know this organization.
We know they don't strike any fear into our eyes. That's another big thing that a lot of the I feel like the talking heads of sports, their general opinion is the Suns strike no fear.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. The fact that the Lakers, a 7th seed,
exactly,
have a higher have a higher chance of winning, like that is just so crazy to me. I mean, my buddy Justin said that, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And I immediately got that. It was funny that like the Warriors lose that game, and the Lakers become the 7th seed, and 5 minutes later, I get a notification on ESPN talking about how like the Lakers are minus 300 favorites
for the whole thing,
for the series. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then not only that, but the next day I'm watching Skip and Shannon Undisputed on Fox. It's a great, it's an entertaining show. Like Shannon Sharp is.
It's on Fox.
Yeah, it's on Fox.
I
Yeah, Shannon Sharp is hilarious. He's a huge LeBron James fan, and it's great I love hearing him talk because it makes me happy when I see LeBron succeed because I think about how happy Shannon is.
Yeah.
But either way, like, it was funny. They had a headline on, running on the TV that basically said, who's a tougher second round opponent for LeBron? Portland or Denver. And I'm reading, I'm just like, oh, okay, so he's already on to the second round. Interesting. Okay.
They're already counting Phoenix out. I mean, the Suns have like such a great opportunity to prove everyone wrong,
and everyone's like,
damn. Wow.
Yeah, everyone's like, whoa.
Like, if you placed a bet on the Suns, and they actually
roll.
do it, you'd get a lot of money, I think.
Oh, yeah.
What are the odds that they win the whole thing? Have they given that?
I think they did, and I think the Suns had I think it was in the low 10 percentages of having the chance at the title.
Not bad, actually.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I remember Scott reading it to me. ESPN released it. Yeah. So it wasn't. I'll remember this. I remember hearing it and saying, okay, that's more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that I think it's gonna be either the Lakers and Nets or the Suns and Nets. Yeah, and I made a $5 bet with my mom. I was like, Mom, I think the Nets are going to win the championship. One day I was just thinking about, James, Kyrie, and Kevin, and I made that $5 bet with her. And then I was like, wait 1 second. If the Suns are playing the Nets, the bet is off.
Gotcha.
Because I can't have a bet against my team the first time I watched them in the finals.
No, exactly. Because then your mind's all like, what is happening?
Exactly. Then it'd really be a weird win-lose situation. Be making money off of their L.
I can just imagine you like in your own head, like the Nets scoring, you're like, yes, and you're like, wait, like, no, you're like contemplating your whole life.
I'm just thinking about $5. God, that $5 sounds so good.
Something different when you put, even if it's just like a penny down on it. You're like, God, dang it,
exactly, dude. It's and that's what's so funny is I already get so into it.
Yeah.
With no money on the line, that like it's like money gets thrown in, I don't even know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. You know what's funny about this camera angle?
Yeah.
Is this is literally the only spot in your room where there's not a poster. You can't
That's
see
what
it.
I was setting up. Is like I was trying to make it have the White Claw Tower be the only background.
So
item.
Frank literally has posters and memorabilia, I would say, all on his walls.
Yeah.
And this is his closet, but it's the only place where there's not something in the background.
Yeah, it's true.
It really is a sight to see.
Yeah, it's kind of wherever you look, you got something to stare at.
Yeah,
there's a lot of conversation starters,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I was just in here and I was just kind of like circling, just kind of doing like rotations going around.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, my favorite one definitely has to be I think the Travis one.
In the top right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the colored chains on it.
Oh, the grenade.
Yeah. So basically, I have a poster of Travis with a grenade in his mouth. Well, he's got the pin in his mouth, and he's biting the pin, and he's got Diamond Girls on, and he's got a Gucci shirt on, and he's got 3 Cuban link colored chains.
It is sick.
Silver, purple, and turquoise, and yeah, he's just kind of winking and smiling at the camera. I mean, it's a great one,
It is.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I love all of these.
Mine.
And they all have good. Like I can tell you like how I got it and like the reason.
It's all
behind
a story
it and stuff.
behind it.
It's all stories. Yeah, exactly.
What about that one right there? Top left. This is an Eminem poster.
Oh yeah, this is Eminem. That was from the Marshall Mathers LP #2, the sequel, the photo shoot they did for that album. He went back to one of his old childhood homes in Detroit, and that's pretty much him sitting in front of it.
Incredible.
Yeah, so imagine anybody who knows MMLP2 or the first one, he's like doing the photo shoots for the album at his childhood home. So you imagine him sitting in front of that old house, and that's pretty much the
It's
poster.
like got a high contrast, like black, white, gray, and it's just like this wooden door with like the windows
boarded up.
Yeah. Dude, sick.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's real too. Like that's the best part. Is like that's a real.
Oh, that's a real spot. Yeah,
it is his home.
It was his home. Yeah,
so
growing
it's not
up.
like he just
exactly
posed in front of some
random house,
shack or something, right? Yeah.
I had that It Chapter 2 one right there. I had that out in the living community area, and Sam and Scott ixnayed it.
Yeah.
So anybody who knows Pennywise the Clown, when I went and saw It Chapter 2 in San Francisco, they were giving out these free posters, and it's just pretty much Pennywise's face. Like imagine a zoom in on his face where you just get his mouth, his nose, and his creepy eyes, and he's just smiling at you. That's the poster.
It's so creepy, and it's all white, and
it's all white.
You can't even see like the outline of his face. It's just like
his whole face is the poster.
His face paint kind of just like fades into the poster, the white, so it looks a
cool
lot creepier.
Because you have like the eye makeup. You know, you have Pennywise has the red lines going down his eyes, and it creates a 2 for the sequel, chapter 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what movie did we see in San Francisco that one time?
We were
like 6 or 7 White Claws deep.
We were definitely that many. It was, oh my God, Hustlers. Yes, the Jennifer Lopez movie.
Did we get a poster for that movie too?
No, unfortunately we didn't. I would have loved that.
You would definitely have that one up
I would have that for sure. I'd try to make that in a prominent spot. You know? That was, that's funny. I remember watching that movie, but I don't really remember what happened. Like, I remember having a good time and stuff.
I remember going in blind and being like, wow.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know it was...
I didn't know anything about it.
You didn't know it was about strippers. Yeah. And I did know that, and I thought you knew that at the time. That's why I was kind of like,
what's crazy is Amanda recommended it.
Yeah.
She's like, let's go watch this one. I want to watch it. I was like, all right.
I thought it was like good buzz on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was like the American Hustle. Like, it was going to be like a...
Yeah.
Type of
I mean, in a way it was still a crime drama.
It was, yeah,
because they were still stealing money from all these.
It wasn't like a Ponzi scheme type vibe though.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just I mean, the title,
that's what I was expecting.
The title was a good title, Hustlers, because they were just
hustlers.
They were just hustling dudes out of money. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty easy move, when you really when you see it in the movie, they make it look very easy.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not trying to it's definitely not as easy.
It's not that easy. And even if you're in that situation, we're not even going to get it.
Yeah, having to steal. I know. I mean, I can't even imagine stealing. Like, I would be just the pressure of the situation too much.
I would crack.
You know what I'm saying?
I would crack on the spot.
I recently discovered a YouTube channel called Karens in the Wild.
Oh, nice.
I mean, as soon as I say it sounds good, right? Yeah, Karens in the Wild. It's just people just losing it in public.
Yeah.
And being completely wrong in a lawful sense. So they're basically donezo and they get arrested and you just watch them as like the full breakdown of them thinking they have all the right in the world to do whatever they want.
Like
and
they're invincible or something.
Yeah, and then they get cuffed and thrown in the car. And the best, I was watching this one it was a woman in a bank and she wasn't putting a mask on and the people asked her to leave. And then they called the cops because she wasn't leaving or putting a mask on. And then the cops came in and they spent like 5 minutes arguing with her and they ended up handcuffing her because she was refusing to leave and, all that stuff, resisting or so on and so forth. And she's getting handcuffed and she's like looking up at all the bank customers who are all masked and just staring at her. And she's like, really? Is this happening? And you can kind of hear the people in the background saying, yeah, this is what she wanted. Are you happy now?
Exactly.
Like nobody's on her side. It's just, they're really entertaining, those types of real life situations where someone just goes, and I was watching another one where a woman was trying to, or actually I have no idea. I think I can't even remember who was in the car, but it's basically a car just crashing through a grocery store parking lot. Like they must have, it cuts in, the video starts in a moment where you don't really know the background, but you just see this car ramming into other cars and then people all around it. Like you got people on the sides of the car smashing their shopping carts into the car to stop it. And they're trying to stop this, and this person ends up just crashing through a bunch of cars and just peels out and takes off. There's just it's just wild. Like I gotta you go down a YouTube rabbit hole.
Oh yes.
I watched many videos of Karens in the Wild yesterday.
I gotta look this up. It sounds like a Reddit subreddit that I like to go on. It's called Confidently Incorrect. Where like someone's just so positive that they are right about this situation, and it's just like they're completely wrong.
That could be another good name for the channel.
Like one of them was some guy talking about how Britain left Europe. Like they left Europe. Yeah. Yeah. And he's like explaining it, and
it's
then
kind of a
someone's like, they didn't leave Europe. They left the European Union. And he's like, mate, like, yeah, right. Like, as if Brexit didn't happen. And it's like, dude, you're crazy. Like, this is tripping.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
COVID has given a lot of material for stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
big time.
I think the word Karen like that. You know how like people coin Karens.
Yeah, the coin Karen.
That happened during this past year.
It does
right?
feel like it did happen during this last year.
It's very recent.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's because of COVID. Like all these Karens don't want to put a mask on. You know.
Yeah. It is.
Imagine being named Karen. Wouldn't that suck? And you're actually like a pretty cool person.
Yeah, you're you're just you're just a young, nice, happy person, and you
wears a mask.
Yeah, you wear a mask. You're just
not a racist.
Not a racist. You're not a you.
It's tough.
You don't have like a mom short haircut or something.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like
what do you do?
What do you do? Maybe start going by Care.
That's worse. That's way worse.
Yeah, okay.
Care.
Okay, maybe Carrie.
Or like Karen.
But Carrie is also
Carrie's
the horror movie where the girl gets blood spilled on her and then has telekinesis powers and terrorizes the school.
Carrie?
You ever heard of that? A Stephen King. It's a Stephen King novel that was adapted into a couple movies. There was one movie and then there was a remake.
No.
Yeah. It's pretty much about a girl who gets
telekinesis.
She gets elected prom queen. I don't know the order of these events because I've never actually seen the movie.
Frank's explaining the entire plot line.
Explaining the entire plot.
Never
I don't know how it happens in terms of order, but pretty much she gets a bucket of blood dumped on her at this school dance in high school. She gets elected like the queen of the dance or whatever, and then it's just a big old student body prank, and they dump this bucket of blood on her, and she gets all mad at everybody, and she ends up getting telekinesis powers, and she pretty much terrifies the school and gets revenge for their mean prank on her.
Wow,
with her telekinesis
sounds simple,
powers.
but
yeah. Chloe Grace Moretz, the actress who played Hit Girl.
Yeah.
She starred in the remake that came out in like 2013 or something.
Okay, I think I actually have heard of it. Dude, speaking of horror stuff, have you been hearing about what's been happening on the freeways down here?
Dude, Sam was telling me about some guy shooting BB gun on 91.
Yeah, there's it is bad apparently.
There's
been
become a thing.
Over 80 instances of people calling in about it.
So
definitely I've heard from other people.
It's all been BB, just BB guns.
I don't know if it's all BB guns.
Yeah.
Because my parents were like, "Hey, try and stay off the 91 if you can't. Like, it's getting bad or something. Like, it's a recurring issue."
Jesus.
Yeah. And even this past, which is so crazy. Imagine just being like an idiot 16-year-old and just like pulling out a BB gun and just start shooting. You know,
cars. Yeah.
Like, how do you catch someone like that? You know, like you'd have to have a cop getting shot at, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what happened, right? I heard a cop got his window shot.
I don't know this.
Yeah.
But you know what happened yesterday?
What?
Or not yesterday, 2 days ago. Terrible story, man. Tragic. Absolutely tough. A mom and this person got into sort of like a road rage incident.
Yeah.
And the mom flipped this person off. I'm assuming it's a guy, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
And the person shot at her car with like a real gun.
Yeah.
And the bullet went through the back of the car and through her 5-year-old child. Yeah.
Wow, that's awful.
Or 6-year-old. I don't know. Really young.
My God, yeah.
Kid's dead.
Wow.
Can you believe that? That happened in Irvine, bro. Orange County.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's...
Isn't that insane? That's so tough.
Yeah.
We were like... Amanda was reading me the story and... listening to like what the family had said, and I was just,
damn, dude.
Don't even know how to react to that, because
that's
your parents are always like, as you grow up, you get into these like, you don't want to get mad on the road, and your parents are always like, you'll never know who's on the other side of like who you're getting mad at,
That's the best argument you can ever make for someone not flipping somebody off,
Yeah,
like
but
for
still.
But imagine you're driving with someone and they flip somebody off, and you're just like, "Whoa, dude, what if that dude has a gun?"
Yeah, no, exactly. And you're thinking to yourself like, never.
Never until it happens.
No one would shoot someone for flipping them off, and then it happens.
Yeah,
and your kid's dead.
Yeah. And suddenly life.
Not that it's definitely not the lady's fault.
No,
of course.
no, yeah, duh. But I mean, it's just like it's one of those things where. Yeah, I mean, I know. it's a big road rage is huge. Road rage happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think people always kind of roll the dice with in terms of, okay, yeah, this person who just really pissed me off isn't going to be that much of a psychopath.
Yeah,
it's like every time you do something like flip someone off or you roll down your window and yell at someone or anything like that, it's like you're always rolling immediately. You roll those dice of what is this person not down to do,
right?
You know, what are they capable of?
It's like you have 100 die in your hand, and then you roll them all.
And
if every single one of them gets snake eyes,
it ends up being a dude with a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
probably a good way of
visualizing
the odds,
it, right?
Visualizing the odds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of getting in the car too. Like we've talked about this before. Like you're really rolling the dice.
Exactly. Every time you get in the car. Anytime you get in a car,
those
roll
are
dice.
Death traps.
Roll
really.
dice. Roll it. Yeah.
I mean, you're going like 70 miles per hour on a freeway, and somehow you have this weird sense of security in this car.
Yeah.
I always think about when I'm driving, or when I used to drive up and down to the bay and back, and you get through the Grapevine, right? This is like past LA, maybe like an hour outside of LA. And you're coming down. It's like you go up this mountain through the quote unquote Grapevine. And you're coming down and you're going like 80, 90 is like the normal speed, you know? And it's just like, what happens if my tire pops right now? What happens if someone cuts me off?
Yep.
You know, it's just, there's so many factors and and I feel fine.
Yeah, and you feel and you're so chilling. You're so calm.
Jamming with music. I'm just like, saving gas, going down fast, you know? It's like, it's so crazy, this weird concept of security in a car, but really, you're not safe at all, you know?
And that reminds me of the Lonely Island song called YOLO. It's actually, it features Adam Levine from Maroon 5 and Kendrick Lamar.
Damn.
I mean, it's actually a pretty legit song, and not only that, but the music video is hilarious because the song's all about like basically because when YOLO happened with Drake, it was like, oh yeah, party hard, you only live once, you know, go hard, and they flipped it and they were like, whoa, everything can kill you. So that's kind of like the idea of the music video.
That's great.
So man. I really recommend it for like looking into like it's kind of like a realization of like, oh, there's way more things, like I'm rolling way more dice than I realize every day. You know, there's just so many ways to go out, you know?
Yeah, that's so true. I love how they flipped it in that way. Because I remember when hearing like YOLO, you like, you only live once, like do whatever you want. I was like, wait. Like,
but
whoa,
wait, you
gotta
be
careful
though. Yeah, you only got one though. It's kind of like
people are like screaming YOLO, doing backflips off buildings. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
It's sort of the whole thing with like, okay, I have this last shot. It's like rebuttal in beer pong. I got to hit this one cup.
Yeah.
Do I just fucking go for it, shoot it, or do I take 5 minutes to think about it, you know? Which one?
Yeah. That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
All right, what are we at? We got to be close right now.
We've been rolling for 27 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Should we call it, or do you want to keep going?
We can keep going.
Okay.
We can keep going. Yeah.
Do you play the guitar?
I don't play the guitar.
Frank just has a guitar right here.
Yeah, and I also have a bass guitar over there, which I kind of barely know how to play too. I know how to play the bass guitar a little bit more.
Literally.
And by little bit, I mean I only know how to play Blink-182 songs.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, because you, Scott, and Parker were going to do that band thing, right?
We were doing the band thing. We were doing the band thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of hopes and dreams for that band, but none of them came to fruition because that's the thing about being in a band is...
Well, you're reliant on other people, right?
You're relying on other people, and everybody has to be as committed as you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have...
Says the guy who doesn't know how to play bass.
Oh, but this is what I'm saying is like I remember making suggestions about ways to like, oh, like let's play for X person, or let's invite these people over and play, or let's memorize this song. Like I remember specifically I wanted to learn one of the best Blink-182 songs called Going Away to College. Pretty self-explanatory what the song's about. But I wanted to play that like right your guys' senior year, Paulie, when you guys were leaving and stuff. I wanted to like learn that song with Michael and Scott and you know, freaking jam it and play it for the homies. Yeah. As a send off, you know? And I just never got him juiced about it, you know? I was just never like we would attempt practice and the it would always come off the rails because like as soon as
I can just imagine Scott just started to go off like
as soon as we would start, we would immediately like, oh, I can't hear you, or like because you realize when you're trying to do a rock band, acoustics are actually huge.
And
there were pretty much every song we would play, Scott's drums would drown everything out. So it's like, and especially me strumming on the bass. I'm playing a low-ass, deep instrument.
Yeah.
And so I specifically remember whenever we would all be playing, the three of us, I couldn't hear anything that I was doing. I was just like, yeah. And I could barely hear Michael, who was lead guitar. And I just hear Scott banging around. So it was kind of hard to get the whole practice thing in.
You got to, hey, man, I know how hard it is to get audio sounding right.
Yeah, exactly. It's
definitely would be difficult, especially when you're just smashing and strumming.
You're smashing and strumming, yeah. And
that is so funny, dude.
We just... I remember we never actually sounded good.
Yeah, but it was the feeling.
It was still just the feeling of jamming in our garage and stuff. It was really cool. And Scott ended up selling, the drums and
he sold them.
He sold the drums and he sold his amp. And he decided to just give me the bass because he said it's like a starter bass or something. And
gotcha.
He said it would be more effort to sell than it would be worth like how much money he would get for it. So he just said, yeah, I could have it, and which I appreciate because I like it. Kind of completes the 1-2 because I got the guitar on one side and then I have the bass on the other side.
Guys, Frank literally has a bass and a guitar,
and I don't know how to play either.
Doesn't know how to play either of them. And they're almost like nightstands on next to his bed.
They sit as like bedposts on the side of my bed. Yeah, they do. Like kind of like, so it's sort of like the first thing you might notice when you walk in. You're like, oh, dude, you play? Yeah, I play. I know.
Frank,
you know what? I know how to play the three notes of Wake Me Up When September Ends on the guitar.
Yeah.
I know how to play the opening of Carousel by Blink-182 on the bass. So like, I know a few things.
Imagine you bring a girl over and she's like, oh my God, like play me something. And you're like, yeah. My hands kind of hurt now. Like, what do you do, bro? You're just like, oh yeah, I don't know how to play.
Yeah, I don't know how to play. I think that might be kind of funny. Like I pick it. No, dude, imagine. Or I could go the opposite way.
For show.
I could imagine if I went the opposite way and I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to play. Let me play you something. And I just go for it. I start freestyling.
Yeah,
playing whatever the hell. I don't know what would be funny.
Oh my God, you gotta tell me when that happens because it's for sure happening, dude. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I'm even surprised it took me that long to notice. Oh God.
Yeah, I feel kind of like a phony.
I mean, you are.
I definitely am.
It's different because, if you had them in your closet, that would be one thing.
Yeah, kind of tucked away.
But they're literally
prominently
on
displayed
the side of your bed, as if you get up in the morning and just start strumming it like for breakfast.
Yeah, and what's funny? What? It's like they were the last things I didn't know how to position. I'd moved everything in and I knew where everything, I was like, okay, I want this here. And then I'm left with the guitar and the bass. And I remember like, it was the last day of me being here on my own before, Scott moved in and Sam moved in. And I was kind of just storing these on Scott's bed that he had waiting for him before he moved in. Yeah. And I remember I put him on my bed before Scott came over. I remember staring at him thinking, okay, what do I do? And I was just like, I guess I can set him against my shelves that I have on the sides of my bed. And then I position them and I set them and I'm like, okay, that's good. That it's staying. Like I make sure it's stationary.
Fall, yeah.
And now that I got my stationary position, I haven't touched them.
You don't.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's like I have to make it clear that do you know how to play? Yeah, I know how to play, but I can't play for you because I just can't pick it up because I can't ruin the aesthetic of how they're set up now.
They're perfectly balanced right now.
They're perfectly balanced, perfectly cornered.
Yeah, I play. But those are perfectly balanced, so I haven't touched them in years.
I can't pick them up. I have another guitar I play with, but it's not here right now. So let's move on.
When you say it like that, it kind of makes sense.
It does.
Because there's only really one or two areas in this room where you could set those up and they could be symmetrical in a way.
Yeah, and they wouldn't fall or have to worry about them falling.
Right. And that's on the bed and your dresser right here. So it kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I like it. Do you know how to play?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. I am literally probably the worst musically gifted person ever. Yeah. I have rhythm, though. You do because of the dancing ability. It's in the blood.
Yeah.
Well, probably not, but it's actually just been ingrained in my mind because my dad used to edit music all day.
Yeah, and those recitals, man.
Oh yeah.
Come on now. I mean, I couldn't help but catch a groove the times that I helped, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You're feeling the groove when you're able to perfectly toss a set of keys behind your head and have your buddy catch it. Oh my God.
That could have been the prime of our life right there.
The prime athletic moment of our life. Yeah.
Do you want to tell the story?
I do. Ryan and I are volunteering, helping backstage at Ryan's Freddie Finn dance studio that his family used to do. They used to do a recital every summer, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we're helping backstage doing stuff, and we did a lot of, to and from errands where we would pick up stuff or go get food or blah blah blah. And there was one time where we're leaving. Ryan was driving a green CRV back then.
Yeah, throwback.
And we're about to take off, and we're walking out of the backstage door.
For some reason, you had the keys.
And I had the keys because, like, you would set them down in an area. And it was kind of like, okay, yeah, we're going. And I was in front of you.
Yeah,
and I just knew where the keys were. And I just grabbed them. And we were kind of already in a rhythm at that point.
We were walking.
What we were doing.
Yeah.
Like, we had already established how to help and how to have a great time at the same time. So I start walking, and I remember you walking right behind me. You're like, oh, you got the keys, Frank? And I'm like, yep. And I just immediately, right as I said yep, I just tossed them up in the air. And we're walking. We're still walking. We never changed our pace, and the air and the keys floated behind my head and just perfectly landed in Ryan's hand. And we just walked out the door.
And I'm literally just walking, and my arms are moving, and then boom, I just twist them right at the last second.
And
boom.
Catches the keys.
It was so smooth and so perfect. I don't even know if anyone will ever understand. It was that.
It probably
perfect.
Sounds really dumb, us reminiscing about catching keys, throwing keys to one another, but
it was just this unspoken.
We did
moving,
it in rhythm.
Here's
it
the
was
pass,
so
catch.
There wasn't
beauty.
Any misstep. It was all like, when you see a quarterback just lead a receiver perfectly, and the receiver never has to slow down. All they have to do is just put their hands up, and then then they're just still moving the same pace. It's like nothing changed. That's what it was like.
Yep.
It was, basically Ryan's Randy Moss and my Tom Brady moments.
It was. If there was a college recruiter around, I'm pretty sure
probably would have
gotten
in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still waiting for the Rams and Chargers coaches to approach us on the beach as we're slinging the pigskin.
Oh.
I don't know why that hasn't happened, but
we'll
give it time.
You guys love doing that.
Usually, a lot of NFL players are under 200 pounds, so we'll probably make the league pretty easily.
Yeah, just get a little pasta in,
Yeah, exactly.
There is something about throwing a football on the beach that just makes you feel
really cool.
So cool.
It does, dude. I almost
it makes
feel
you
guilty.
Feel like a pro.
Yeah, I almost feel like I'm thrown there on the beach, and I'm thinking, does everybody understand how cool I think I feel right now?
Like, is everyone getting this vibe going on?
Are they feeling my energy? Because
did you see
cool.
that throw that I just made?
Did you see the spiral that I just did? I flicked the wrist. Come on now.
And then anytime someone catches it, you're like, it's a great throw.
Yeah, it was a great throw. And you know what I love to do? I love to do a nice long throw. Yeah. And I like to time like my arm going like just give it like a boom, like a like I do like an arm
like a
thrust,
flick.
like a little arm flick, thrust, right as the catch is made, like trying to time it. Like you know what's even cooler is when you throw it and then you turn around with your back to the receiver and you like look at the camera that's behind you, obviously because you're playing an NFL game, and then you freaking bring your hand down right as the receiver catches it.
That is sick, dude. I got to get that on camera next time.
Yeah, I would love to tell a quarterback about that celebration, see if we could get that going.
How close are you to the beach right now? I guess but
2
this
miles.
Apartment.
2 miles.
You guys ever walk there?
No, but we're thinking about starting to do bike rides. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How good are the beaches here?
Dude, they're nice. They're really big. They're large. They have a lot of volleyball courts, a lot of beach volleyball nets.
Oh, really? I've never
court area.
Been to.
It's super wide sand, like just a wide beach. A lot of sand space. You might want to call it.
Huh. Is it flat or is it kind of like?
It's flat.
It goes down.
It's flat.
So like, is it kind of like Newport?
There is the little down section right before the water, of course. But the majority of the amazing width of the beach is just flat sand with, I'd say half of the sand is covered with beach volleyball courts and the other half of the sand is just open. And then once you get past those two sections, you got your beach volleyball portion right as you walk on, and then you kind of got your open flat portion, and then boom, you get the lifeguard towers, and then right after the lifeguard towers, you get the little bit of a slant into the shore and water.
So this is Redondo Beach, and this is a city, right?
Yeah, so it's like
town.
Yeah, but we're also pretty much right by Manhattan Beach. So we always go to Manhattan Beach when we go to the
Beach.
beach. Because
Gotcha.
Manhattan Beach has better public parking. And it's just easier to find a space that isn't paid for.
I've never really heard of like Redondo Beach as like a beach.
Yeah, and what was interesting is I think the Redondo Beach Pier has more food options and just more options of like shopping and just going out to spend money than the Manhattan Beach Pier does. Manhattan Beach, but don't get me wrong, Manhattan Beach, similar vibe, restaurants, shops, leading into the beach, leading into the boardwalk. But we're pretty much living in between the Redondo Beach boardwalk and the Manhattan Beach boardwalk. That's kind of where we're positioned.
So is it Venice Beach is above you?
Venice Beach, I think
above Manhattan.
I think is above Manhattan. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, you guys are in here, man.
Yeah, we're in the LA County area.
Have you guys like explored or done anything cool?
I mean, the coolest things we've done like that are like kind of LA is, we've gone to a few comedy shows because Scott's former fraternity brother is now a comedy event organizer.
Oh, cool.
And he's made friends and relationships with a lot of local LA comics, and so we've gotten to go to a couple.
That's got to be tough around these times.
Exactly. We've gotten into a couple free shows because Jack's been trying to bring back live comedy in the LA area, help out with that, and he's been inviting us and trying to use us to fill up seats and stuff. So we've been getting these free.
Sick.
Yeah, we've been getting in for free pretty much, and we've been seeing comedians that like I know from like TV and movies. So it's pretty cool. Like we've seen Jeff Ross.
They can't fill him
the
up
Roast Master.
Oh yeah.
We saw Steve-O.
He did a comedy.
Yeah, Steve-O does stand up too. Yeah, Steve-O does stand up.
saw Steve-O.
And we saw Steve-O do stand up.
What?
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, we also
I didn't
saw.
know he did stand up.
Fucking what's his face? Damn, I'm blanking. Ari Gold from Entourage, played by Jeremy Piven. Jeremy Piven's the name of the actor. He also does a little stand up. We saw him too. Yeah, so that's kind of been, and those have been fun events because you kind of feel the whole. It feels like, oh, this is like an LA crowd. I don't know. It just feels.
How so?
Well, it feels like everybody's trying to be cool.
Gotcha.
Because like whenever I go to an event, like events
you're walking in,
like let me explain. Like in a place like Riverside in the Inland Empire,
yeah,
I feel like everybody's like, yeah, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah,
like I'm representing me.
Yeah,
like I'm wearing this because I like it and I think it's cool, and that's about all I care about.
Yeah.
But I feel like in LA, you kind of have like, okay, she's looking good. Oh, he's looking good. Oh, I'm looking just as good though. It's kind of like that. That feels like and not that that's bad or anything, but it just feels like everybody kind of just cares a little bit more.
There's this one-up type of mentality.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you fit in there?
I think I can slide in. I think I can kind of glide under the radar.
Slide right under the radar.
Yeah, because
gotcha.
If I wore my normal clothes and I like to wear around lounging, then I would stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But I have acquired the clothes to pretend like I care.
Yeah. But not enough to where people notice.
Exactly.
Right?
Not where now I'm standing out for caring too much.
It's just the perfect.
I'm just
middle.
sliding in the middle. I'm just gliding through with everybody else. I'm just looked at. It's like, oh, that's just a normal LA dude.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten that at the 2 comedy shows we've gone to.
Would you? Yeah.
I've achieved that look.
Would you ever do comedy again?
Yeah, I've actually been. I kind of got the inspiration juices flowing. Yeah,
sick.
I started writing some more jokes, and I figured like, why not try to use this sort of connection I have, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, true.
Why not?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So hopefully I can maybe figure out a way to show Jack some of my stuff, and then maybe get a couple minutes to open up one of these shows because he has a wide range of talent and acts. Like he's
I'm sure.
like each show has 7 to 10 comedians, and you got. You got your big heavy hitters who come at the end who do 15 minutes each, and then you got your guys who nobody knows who do 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes.
God, that is so hard.
Yeah, so I could
2 to 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, there's some short ones, yeah, and there's some long ones, but it's just all based on like who you are, like what kind of audience do you draw? Who are like what?
I mean, yeah, I get that.
What level of a comedian are you? You know what I'm saying? That's why Steve-O went last. Like Steve-O was late to the show, and he totally
only got
forgot
15 minutes.
Well, he got like the closing 15 minutes, yeah.
I feel like that's not enough.
It is for the kind of like you're thinking of like specials. Like See, what we've gone to is we've gone to like comedy shows that are sort of meant for comedians trying out
new stuff
to use in like a theater where they've just sold out and they're doing an hour.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of the work that we were seeing done on stage was stuff that they were trying out for the first time. Like we had guys looking in their joke books or their joke journals on their phones and just like reading something. Oh, let's try this. Or pointing at someone in the audience and just doing crowd work. Like there was this one guy who was doing crowd work who was hilarious. One of the funniest things, he would just point at people and tell them to do stuff. And he just pointed, like, it might not sound funny to everybody, but he pointed at this woman who was kind of like, had the LA, like she worked really hard for this night out. You know, she was looking 10 out of 10. And he points at her and he says, "Hey, excuse me, miss, could you smash your face into the table for me? Thank you." He was just doing it. And then he points at another guy. "Excuse me, sir, can you close your legs? It smells like a fish market." He was just doing like, and he kind of had this like weird, like monotone, just sort of dad voice going on. And it was cracking me up. I mean, it wasn't cracking everybody up because when he told the lady to smash her face into the table, she was like, she kind of like gave him like a nasty look.
Yeah. That would kill the vibe.
So it's fun to, because that feels like LA, because LA is just a place where there's comedy shows happening like every night. And that's another thing I've also noticed with Scott having this hookup with Jack is that, you know, we've gone to 2 comedy shows, but there's been like 4 we haven't gone to, you know, so we're like getting, like they're happening all the time. And so
they need to, I guess, to hash out
and LA is an area,
bits.
LA is an area where, you know, the talented are doing their work. So that's why you get sets that are probably different than like an hour theater show that you see in Kansas or something.
Right. Yeah, that's the only type of comedy I've been to. Is like,
it's like a full hour set,
except for the ones I went
that you went the open mic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So those are always fun.
Oh yeah,
because you get the finished product. Right?
You get and that's why it's also awesome if you like comedy to just watch the Netflix specials, because that's the best they can. That's true. That's the best they've got. Yeah. Well, I think that's the best we've got.
That's the best we've got. All right,
episode
everybody.
72.
Episode 72.
Signing off.
Coming to an end.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking with us. We're doing this till we die.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, episode 72. Peace out.